What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Road to 150. It is August 29th. We have so much football coming up very, very soon. But until then, we're going to draft best ball teams. Hope, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Davis. It's gonna be tough for me. I'm just trying to stay, not get distracted by your new computer. It's tough, but no, that's a super sick machine you got. Um, so that is cool. But as far as the football goes, we had cut down today. Final cuts. It only happens once now. A lot of news. I mean, all day long. It was smart the way the NFL did it. They gave themselves another deadline, another day to be in the news. I know us and all of our chats, like we were just waiting for the JT news, waiting for the cuts right at 4 p.m. So I think it was kind of fun. I guess it would be better if they still did the multiple cuts, but it was kind of fun. Created an event out of it. I feel bad for the guys who didn't make teams, but
I mean, it sucks. And I felt really bad. We were joking about this in the chat. It was like, there's a lot of dead round 18 picks going on like right now, right? Think about it. Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like somebody's overweight on a Malik Davis, or actually I think people might be overweight on Malik
people
Davis.
are
Like no one's like overweight on all these random like round 18 guys. But I could say that there's probably a good enough hundreds, if not thousands, of like Chosen Anderson, hundreds, if not thousands of them like Davis teams that are like Albert O. Like Albert O was like kind of hot for a minute.
yeah.
Things like that. And it's going to be interesting. Like, will it be a major effect? Probably not. It'll probably be a affect like bad teams where like they got like three, robust, fragile, and then went like Malik Davis as the fourth guy.
Yeah.
Like, it might affect them, maybe, right? But like overall, like it's probably dropping the bucket. But it makes everybody sweat and cry a little bit.
No, it does, and I mean it's easy to get in on like 18th round guys, especially like you hear a good blurb about him, and then all of a sudden you've taken him in 10 straight drafts. Luckily, like, because the Malik Davis, it happened to me where it's like everybody, was talking about, hey, he was the back, the third stringer last year. He should fit right into this role. We've heard the coaching staff say we don't want to give Tony Pollard all the work, so it's got to go to someone, right? And like that
Yeah.
narrative really hit me like about a month ago, and I luckily only drafted him 3 times in BBM. But still, like that's can easily happen, and it's happened to me in the past where all of a sudden you've drafted someone like 10, 12 times and basically not even realized it. And so a lot of that can happen, but luckily, like, a round 18 guy, you can easily survive. But transition here, someone you might not be able to survive depending on what happens after the first 4 games of the year. The cover boy, Jonathan Taylor, did not get his wish to go to the Dolphins or wherever else he might have been traded to. What are your initial thoughts on the impact of this as far as JT missing 4 games, as well as the Dolphins RBs?
As a Dolphins fan, he would have been the best running back we've had, right? On paper, he would be the best running back we've had since like Ricky Williams. As a guy in best ball who drafted all of his teams 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
I was like, please, like, don't like Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert are like guys I paid huge on this year, like not huge on pick ADP wise, but just girth,
Percent wise.
of
Yeah.
of spending. It adds up, and I was like, please don't. He's gonna ruin me because not only is he gonna ruin those two guys, he's probably gonna like it's gonna just be bad. And then to top it off, that this means my Dolphins have less picks again in the future, which is like, why not? It would be the most Dolphin move of all time. That would have been like us winning summer all over again. Is what we do. That would have sucked, and I don't think I could have handled that because my Mostert and Wilsons would have been dead, and I have no JTs.
Potentially.
So I would have been double whammy. But at least maybe the Dolphins win the first playoff game in 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a chance if the JT trade would have happened, one of them would have gone back to Indy. So, and you maybe could have got Mostert as the starting RB in Indy, which could have saved it, or Wilson. So I think that there's potential there. I have a 5% JT in BBM. I have 8 teams with him on it. So not crushing. I will say before this week, I think I had 6 or 5 teams with him, but I made a point to draft him because I was fading him. So, pretty much all offseason. But I was like, God, if he's the Dolphins RB1, I'm going to want some JT. So I made a point to draft like 2 or 3 more teams of him this last week. So sometimes you win, you lose. It's 8 out of 150. It's not going to be a killer. And a lot of it is second and even a couple third round teams. So we can survive the first 4 weeks. But what do you think happens when he comes back. Does he come back? He kind of has to, right? Or he loses 0 service.
Yeah.
Um,
So there's two sides of that. So the first part you were talking about, like you had to draft him a little bit just to get him. So I know people are victory lapping, like, oh, I didn't take JT. Like I had like 2 to 3%, but like I'll tell you this right now, if JT would have gone and he's now the guy that you got in third rounds, right? Third rounds, maybe even end of the third, and that RB fall off is huge, right? You're going from like JT, like in an RB1 role versus like Najee Harris,
yeah.
right? Or Ramondre that could get vultured, right? Like JT obviously has like a higher ceiling of like to do work. So I don't blame anybody for that. Anyone victory lapping this is like, come on. Like I know we were all sweating. Like everybody was sweating to the last minute. So like let's not pretend. And then secondly of this,
Tyler's been victory lapping on
exactly,
Twitter.
right? Like, it's like Twitter, like what's going on? Like Dwayne
Felix
was
had
saying,
some big victory laps going on as well.
yeah, as Dwayne was saying, he was just like, act like you've been here before, like come on, let's be real. But then on the flip side of it, like, what does this do if he's on the pup? Like this sucks.
Yeah.
You don't want like, I get it. If I could make a wish, I would make a wish that like my teams won like BBM and only my players survived the whole season.
Yeah.
But that is not good football. So JT being out for 4 games, not good football. JT being disgruntled, not good football. Like and I say this a lot. I always point to this gentleman, but he could literally Allen Robinson us, and that is like really scary. And I always say Allen Robinson. There's other guys who've done this. Like, oh man, like I sprained my pinky. I guess I'm out for the season. I played 1 game. You have to release me now. Like that kind of thing. Like it would not surprise me. JT is literally going to the locker rooms, undressing first, leaving first, just being a pain in the and I get it. It's all relative to him, whatever he's feeling. So that sucks.
Tyler, you get your flowers. No JT for you. You're smart, big brained it. But no, it makes sense. What it sucks worse is I picked him on 2 of my eliminator teams in the $50.
Yeah, you were telling me that. I was dying.
No, and what sucks is I have someone splitting those entries with me who wanted to like, get in on the action who's not a best baller. And like luckily they don't really follow it. So I was like,
you know what's coming next, right?
Do what?
I thought you were a content creator. I thought you knew what you were doing.
But I think we can survive it. One of the JT teams has Justin Jefferson, and the other one has Saquon, who I picked ahead of him, and it was 3rd round JT. So I think we can both survive in the eliminator if he's got to play though, or those teams are dead. If he doesn't play at all, it's dead. Yeah, Felix. Hey, I don't blame you. Smell the roses every now and again.
Felix catches so much crap. Like,
yeah, if anyone deserves the victory lap, it's Felix. Because he does take a lot of shit for his Najee love. But some other news that happened: Judy not going on pup. Good sign.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, I know you are.
I actually was supposed to release my article last week, and life got in my way. My computer was offline. Like all that stuff was I didn't get to send it. But part of my best ball article, which will be a little bit late, and season will start soon, but just even good tidbits. It's like, why are people so worried about like the first 3 weeks of Best Ball Mania? Why are you so worried about like the first weeks of your puppies? Like, most of you, like 95% of you, do not care about regular season, right? It's like Felix, myself, and like 2 others that care about regular season.
All right, I somewhat care.
Do you really care?
I'm the one touting that you can build for both. I have said that.
That being said, right? Like, why is everybody acting like I can't take like round 6 Jerry Judy? Like, I saw people sending me photos of like pick 75, pick 80 Judy. I'm like, really? Like, did Jerry Judy like just lose his hamstring? He has to find it in like a needle haystacks. Like, what are we doing? So JSN, Jerry Judy,
this is another one.
Terry McLaurin. All these guys should not be going 3 rounds further than their current ADP. Yeah. And I'll give you an example. DeAndre Hopkins missed 6 games last year, right? You're going to get an early sneak peek in the article. He missed 6 games last year. He finished above advance rate. He finished at 18%. He was like a 6th round guy, 6th to 7th round. He was being drafted right next to Ayuk and all those guys. And he had the same advance rate as those guys, if not better. He actually was at the higher end of the advance rates. So like, you don't take zeros. You just take like -3s on a few weeks. But those guys are an elite talent. If Jerry Judy is an elite talent, do you think he's going to be any worse than like, I don't know, Treylon? Like he was falling down to Treylon Burks, like that kind of like tier. So I don't know. I get off my high horse for a second, but like QJ or Jerry Judy, like, are we really debating this?
This is also a good point here for Mr. MT Revolt. Sorry. Yeah, they cut Callaway, cut some other receivers. Yeah, Kendall Hinton, their QB. So they must be feel pretty good about Judy. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, like it was just anybody, like Terry McLaurin, JSN, even Tarek said like Jameson, like Williams, like
It's a
there's a
tough one for
shot.
me. I
Like,
know.
DeAndre Hopkins missed 6 games and then went on bye, and he still finished with like 80% advance rate. He was not a cheap player last year, and he also wasn't like super relevant throughout the final weeks of the season. But for advance rate out of week round 1, he was above 17%.
Yeah, I think it makes total sense. JSN also already back at practice. Not even just like getting cardio, running routes and catching passes in the
With his
wide
good
receiver
wrist.
drills. We saw, yeah, he did have quite a big like brace on his wrist, so that'll be something to monitor. But I did go ahead and sneak in the draft. We're picking out of the 6 hole. Kind of unfortunate spot, but we'll see what we can get here. Let's see. I'm trying to remember if we're missing any other news we want to hit on.
Look at those, all those badges. We got 1, 2. Any more at the bottom?
We dodged everyone pretty good this time. 2 badges, 2 black badges in here. Feels pretty good.
You're gonna trigger some people for dodging them. I'm just saying. You're gonna.
I feel like I've got 4 more of these. We got to take every little edge we can get.
Tyler, I did say that. I said 6 to 7, and Judy is going 3, 4, and he's from original, and he fell to like 6, 7, 8. So people literally let him just slip like numerous rounds, and he's only missing half the games. DeAndre Hopkins was slated a hard 6 games missing.
It's not a dodge if everyone's max. True. I feel like a lot of people did finish a little earlier this year, and I even meant to have more than 4 left, but I feel like it's going to probably fill over the weekend. Do you think it makes it to Monday?
Who knows? Honestly, you never know. Like, this thing really ramped up once it got past like 70%. It's just trying to like shooting.
I kind of, it's 4 more of these. I kind of want to grab Bijan here. What do you think?
Yeah.
You good with Bijan?
Yeah, of course. I'll sign up for all the Bijan right now. Like, I do think that he might be tighter to some players like Eckler, maybe, but like, man, I just goal line, big body, like, could be the lead weapon on this team. It's no joke.
I think this was totally fine to think that he wouldn't play until week 6 because Pete Carroll's famously been very finicky on injuries, as well as like it kind of just makes sense, right? He's a rookie. You've got a preloaded team. Give him more time to heal with your early bye week, but we'll see. It's a good sign he didn't go on PUP. He's already back practicing, and look, I have like 18% JSN, so we definitely don't want that to happen.
The injury was ambiguous too. It was like wrist quotations, right? And at the same time, it's like, who knows? We haven't even started yet. Maybe he's doing routes and stuff, but maybe he doesn't really play. He could have a slow snap share the first like 4 weeks. Yeah. That basically is not playing. So I don't disagree with that. I do think 6 was a little excessive, but what's it like? Is a 4 or 5 week really that far from 6? I feel like I feel like everyone kind of groups it, right? If someone misses 1 week, 2, whatever. But if someone's missing 4+, everybody just starts plummeting these guys down ADPs.
That's fair. Yeah, that's a good point from Tyler too. There are still 2 more weeks before the actual start of the season as well. So that needed to be factored in.
Definitely. So like I said, I was probably looking more like 3, 4. I had Judy the same boat. I have Judy like 3, 4. I was like, he'd probably be back by week 3, 4. I'm not sweating it. Like, is he going to be at full strength? Probably not. But we've seen guys play through way worse. Like DK Metcalf played through an injury that was supposed to sideline him for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Like in like week 7, he did better. He was like, oh, I got hurt. Time to like take it up a notch. Nick Chubb round 1, man. I can't get past this. That's so funny to me. I love Nick Chubb, by the way. I just think it's weird to see it.
I do too. I wish I had more. I'm only going to end up 5 or 6% on him. I think I just kind of missed the early boat. And then at this point, like, I'm going to take him first round versus all the teams who got him later. And I know that's not exactly how it works. You're just facing your first 12, and then you'll have different combos as well compared to what they had. But yeah, I have a tough time taking him that high when I know so many teams have him at the 2-3 turn.
Yeah, even just mid twos is a huge deal, right? Like that's such a big difference. Like in auction, that would be like a $60 pick and like a $40 pick. That's a lot of capital spent. Sorry, $40 worth of spending. Um, you know what it is though? Nick Chubb basically just took JT's old spot. That's realistically what happened. They flopped. So because JT was starting off in the 7th and 8th hole in the beginning of the season.
Another one too, Jerome Ford back at practice as well, which was good to see for my bags, especially. All right, who do you like here? I like
I
all
think you
these.
can go
I think I want a
Devontae.
receiver.
I think Devontae's probably the safer play.
I like Devonta here. I've been doing some like just windmill your guys these last few drafts with Calvin Ridley,
Yeah.
but I like getting Devonta. Gives us an outside chance. Hurts comes back, probably not. But we'll see.
I mean, I like Olave, but like Devontae's just like the better talent, has the better quarterback, might be playing in more shootout games, possibly with the defense kind of taking a step back in the secondary. Their front seven's still solid. I don't like we don't know. Like we really never got to see a full Eagles team last year because they were just kind of just grinding the last 2 quarters of the game. So if they're in more games, there's a chance we could get like a really good season on Devontae. And he's going to year 3, where perpetually that's where wide receivers really take off.
Yeah. I mean, I love Devonta Smith. You don't have to talk me into him.
I think he went to Bama, right? Is that where he went to? Is that where he went to? I don't know. Can you tell
Possibly, I might have had class with him. It's my classmate.
me? I just can't imagine like not wanting Devontae Smith. He's like really freaking good.
I bumped into Jalen Hurts in the hall one day when I was leaving one of my main classes there.
Justin, Jeff, Pat. Oh, the 101's been interesting too. 101 gets a lot of like in different setups now that like Ridley's are higher, now that Olave's higher.
Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen turn.
All right, cool. We're good. I think we're going to be at least 11th in this one.
We are 11th place.
Minimally. I just don't know why people dodge T. Higgins. He has Mahomes, Jefferson. He got Higgins, right? Yeah. So he has his week 15 and 17 correlation right there. And decided this is the time to get my second quarterback. Damn, Gibbs in the turn.
Just too rich for my blood.
It's the same argument, right? Like I'm seeing him in the 4th, 5th. No, maybe mid 3rd, 4th. I don't mind this because early 3rd versus late 3rd is not a big deal to me. That's fine. Fair. Like that's just a different combo. That wouldn't bother me as much. As much as I'm not a Gibbs guy, like I don't care when people take him on the turn.
Keenan already as well.
Marvin brings up a good point. There's a lot of really cool running backs.
Do you want to just take T?
Yeah.
Derrick Henry 10 picks past ADP or T?
I'd probably take Derrick. Let's take Derrick. Let's get gross.
Yeah. T here as well though. We took RB in round 1.
Okay, I mean it's fine, up to you.
I think we might like.
Both are fun picks.
I want to go T.
Okay.
I just feel a little safer about that, and then I think we'll probably like potentially get one of these RBs to come back, maybe.
Can you pull up Marvin Mom's comment? So I want to touch on this because I did a lot of double our quarterback. I did this a ton, but I will tell you this is not the same ADPs. There's a difference between taking a guy in the 2nd and 3rd. And then when I was doing it with like Justin Herbert and Jalen in the 5th and 6th, right? Like I had 4 picks already before that. And I was grabbing like, and you got to think, this is what my rosters would look like. Because I had like Saquon, Tyreek, or CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek, Saquon into, another 2 studded receivers or running back, and then Jalen Hurts, and then Justin Herbert, right? Like that's a totally different team than Justin Jefferson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, let's say Drake London, and then Miles Sanders. Like that's not nearly the same team in comparison.
I think that's fair. Yeah, I'd love to start too. It feels super comfy. We're getting some reaches in this one. Obviously, at the 2 QB start, we've got Justin Fields here in the 3rd. Kind of weird.
I mean, I wrote a whole section of like Higgins this year. He has like the weirdest numbers, and maybe he doesn't pay ADP. I doubt he doesn't. But if he doesn't, it's like, it won't feel too bad considering that you have like a good bet on him anyways. And he's going as your 3rd, 4th pick, 3rd pick most of the time. I don't know. I like him. I think he's really undervalued. If like Chris Olave can go like 10 picks ahead of him in some drafts, I would rather have Higgins.
Yeah, I would as well. I think it makes total sense. kind of a weird. I was
I
kind of.
will say,
I was wanting to get Ramondre there.
oh yeah, of course, that would have been a fun pick. JT's so done.
I'm not clicking him.
No,
Let's see. What do you let me? We could do Burrow for the stack. I'd kind of rather take like Mixon and then try and get Burrow.
I'd rather get Mixon.
Yeah.
I'd much rather get Mixon. I'd much rather get Mixon, play for Burrow, even play for Herbert. Like, there's a shot that one of those guys may come back. Worst case, we just like fall into Deontay or Terry or whatever comes back to us.
Yeah, I mean the Chase drafter already took Hurts, which we know that won't prevent in this room. But
the 12 slot has a stacked team too. It's been kind of fun looking at that. Just 4 studded ass receivers.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not the biggest on DJ Moore, but
Yeah,
DJ Moore in the 3rd round.
He's going he's going about a whole 12 picks earlier than he was before. He was going at 47.
Yeah, I have 46. Like 4 or 5 turn fields. DJ Moore, like,
yeah, still a solid team though. I'm not gonna take that away. Like, this is still nice to look at.
This person just filling out their roster: 1 running back, 1 tight end, 1 receiver,
3 PPR options and a deep shot guy. Like, why wouldn't you do that?
Just filling out the roster. Hopefully, at some point, they'll let the QB slide down to us.
Okay, Chris. Yeah, man, I'm excited for Bijan too.
Yeah.
That man's built different.
Yeah, Bijan's awesome.
Let's see what quarterback this guy grabs. I'm just kidding. Okay.
I think we're probably looking receiver at our next pick. Goes Deontay.
Damn, Deontay used to go like pick 72. Oh my god. 60s, 70s. Now he's at 49.
People loving the Steelers. Jonathan Taylor, the 2 QB drafter, gets us some JT.
So 0 RB build right now is what I see.
Yeah, it's modified 0 RB.
I mean, Josh Allen runs. He would just switch positions.
Let's see. Hopkins goes. Man, let's see. McLaurin didn't want him. I really want, at this point, a Kirk or Lockett, I think. What do you think?
I would probably either grab Brees or Judy. I don't think grabbing Lockett.
I don't want to take Judy at this. I mean, he's gonna be fun. I kind of like just doing Kirk and then maybe get.
I would probably, if you were scared, I would. Oh, see, there goes Judy. Anyway, I would probably get Kirk, man,
Pierce,
or Brees. I mean, those are either fine picks.
I think I'd rather get one of these receivers. I could even be talking to Pickens, but I think they might come back. I think we just go Kirk or Lockett.
Now we got Kirk. I wouldn't grab Lockett right now, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, I don't know. This is where he's been going.
Well, Lockett used to start off in the 60s, 70s, and he's going up. And I feel like this is a spike on like JSN's news versus like the outcome.
Yeah. I mean, him and JSN have been going right beside each other in the 5th, like all off season, besides like the first month.
I don't know. If you get Judy to come back, I would take Judy. I guess I'm not worried about him like missing 2 to 3 games.
Yeah, if Judy comes all the way back, I'm totally fine with it. I just right there, I wanted Kirk or Lockett.
Yeah, advanced function. I would have taken Judy over those and just played for either of those to come back.
Yeah, I wasn't super big into Mixon it. I don't have much of him. I don't know. I've been kind of red-pilled by Hayden lately. He really thinks he's going to catch a ton of balls this year, and is not worried at all about the suspension stuff. So we'll see. I do have Brees over Kirk. I think
I wouldn't take him over Lockett for sure. I don't know. Like I said, I'm very in mix between for Kirk because I like Kirk a lot. I think he's fine where he was, but now that people have shifted a little bit, I think the better play is still the better play down the road.
Yeah.
But if you were talking to me like a couple weeks ago, I would have said like Kirk at 50 is like totally fine. He is a complete tier on a different side of receivers. Judy goes at 62 anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
I mean,
Chris Godwin. You're probably losing value on Dotson.
I mean, I don't really. Well, I would have said I don't mind it because I don't have as much Dotson as I like. So I would have been totally fine with the Dotson. Here, this is a rough spot. I'm either Dobbins.
I'm probably Dobbins, and then I'm playing for like Evans, Gabe.
I think we just start
Addison.
punting RB now after we take Dobbins if we get him.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be overweight at that point. We'll be 3 deep, and then I'll be like totally fine.
Yeah, I'm done. We are gonna have to look for back stacks as well. Our top 3 receivers, QBs are all gone.
I bought a lot of Mixon last year.
Yeah, I know he didn't, but he didn't play like on any third downs, and I really think he might this year. Like, I just don't believe in the guys behind him, but we will see. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not gonna say I was like windmilling in Smosh P Ryan last year either. So there could easily be one of those guys who comes out of nowhere that does that.
Any teams on the board that look good at you right now?
Yeah, let me take a look. Let's see. Let's see. I liked the 12 hole until they did the double elite tight end. That's just not for me. I know it's not bad. Let's see.
You got them at a slip though. It's not bad. Like you had Hawkinson like a whole round ahead of most people did. In some range, you got Kittle. It's not the worst.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was thinking out of the.
I probably like the 4 hole the most right now.
I mean, yeah.
I wouldn't have taken
the 4 hole's pretty good.
I love the start. I mean, I love Damian Pierce, Keenan Herbert stacked with Ridley Tyreek. Like, I like that a lot.
I think the 8th overall is pretty interesting too. Right? Like, it may not be my guys. Like, I don't take Kelsey or Waddle, but like the build is cool. Like, he took advantage of a falling Breeze, took advantage of a falling Ramondre a little bit, took a Chris Godwin. So it's like I thought it looked solid.
Yeah, I think it's fine. So pick 78 JSN. I'd be into Zay. I kind of want to. I think we have to skip running back here.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. We're 3 in. Like, if we take a 4th, what are we doing?
Yeah, I'm either Jason probably.
Yeah, take JSN.
I think we'll just take him. We're getting him here. I mean, this is good value, and like even. I mean, it's kind of where he was going when the contest started, but I like it at this point, and it gives us access to Geno now. This is where you don't have any obvious quarterback stacks.
Yeah. I would have liked, obviously, Brandon Cooks on the comeback, but that didn't happen. Okay, Cooks is like probably a little undervalued right now. Still, 77, I think he's about where he should be, but he would have been a pick I would have considered too. I'm sorry, their fantasy's functional. I did push a lot of Chase Brown in the earlier part of the season, but now that he's kind of like just unheard of, I have no idea what to do. Because I think there's the Chris Evans or something, the other running back out there.
Yeah, Travion as well has been kind of hyped. Like, I'm honestly just skipping the Bengals RB2. I know it could crush me. That's a great offense. P. Ryan had a good role last year. But there's just other late running backs that I like. Like Kyron has been a pretty auto click for me lately in the 18th round. And I'm still taking some. I think now it's kind of flipped. The tight ends that we loved late are getting pushed up, but I'm still taking them like 15th, 16th round. Like, I'm not worried about that type of closing line value. And I actually think there's some receivers in the last 2 rounds that we know are running routes now that you can take. I don't know. What do you think? Are you taking? I mean, you're done with your drafts, but did you take any Bengals backups?
I took a little bit of Chase Brown in the beginning.
Yeah.
He was in like that 140, 50, 60 zone, and then he started really plummeting. And I still kind of liked him a little bit. But then, like, there was just other guys that had better news for themselves, right? Like Joshua Kelly, Isaiah Spiller, technically. Like, Jordan Mason had some good news for himself. Gus, didn't have any news, but it was not bad or good at the time. You had so many other round 18 guys that just made more sense. And then, like, the Mixon news broke in favor of Mixon. The other running backs got more usage. Like, I really didn't know where to go at those points. And I couldn't tell you, like, oh, yeah, those are better picks or they're worse than.
Fair.
But I do think if you were banking an RB2, like, I don't think there's a wrong pick to be made. If you're doing your research, like, it just makes sense. Because all those guys really did have a shot to be somebody. P. Ryan being an example.
It makes total sense. Tua goes.
I mean, what is this? A Sky Moore pick, a Sutton pick? I mean, we go Sky Moore, we'll get the week 17.
I'd rather go Sutton.
Sutton.
I'd rather go Sutton than Sky, honestly.
How about Thomas, huh? No.
You see my percent? I have 8%.
They're both 8.9% right now. So fun.
I want to go Sutton. What do you think?
That's fine. You don't
And
have any other stacks anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
no,
And
it gives us a chance at Russ.
Yeah, it gives you a chance at Russ.
Also, this team is just screaming Daniel Jones, though. Which that's like 23% of my teams.
Yeah. And like the tough part too is like Chase Brown. What he's not? How big is he? I remember him not being that huge. I think he literally comes up as like a receiving back, so it's just kind of like. I think you get.
I mean, P. Ryan was in a great role. Like he had a lot of usable weeks last year for.
P. Ryan was bigger though, I believe.
He's really short, but he's thick.
Yeah, but P. Ryan's like I'm looking at P. Ryan's 235 pounds. Because he was originally supposed to be a lead back for the Commanders back in the day. Like he was supposed to be 3 downs.
Oh, he was great at Oklahoma.
Yeah, just a big guy doing big guy things. And yeah, Chase Brown's about 215. It's not much of a difference, but I do think like if I had to pick, right, 5'9", 215 or P. Ryan.
But I mean, we're talking about the third down role, though. I don't feel like that's as important.
No, of course. But I'm just talking about in general. Like it's a different set. I don't think he takes over.
Yeah,
possible though. I saw it at 215 when I looked at Chase Brown. Oh, never mind. I got it right. 227. I looked at the wrong one. 227. So he is a big, fatter guy. So that actually does go in his favor.
5'9", 227. Chase Brown. Yeah, he's big.
He is thick. I thought it was 215. So yeah, I mean, it's possible. They just don't talk about him. Like, what am I supposed to do if I don't say anything? Maybe they're talking about him now, but we didn't hear anything for weeks. At least not that I saw. But it is like a fine pick. Once again,
looking here, I mean, we've taken 5 straight, or not 5 straight, but 5 receivers.
Hear me
I'm thinking.
What about? Huh? What about my buddy? He's right there. Come on. You got him at ADP.
You know what? This is one of the last drafts we're doing together. It gives us a chance at Carr at least, because it's probably a 3 QB team. No.
Look at that. Looking more like old self. It's exactly what you need to see when you're drafting.
All right, we need one of these QBs.
Probably gonna get stuck with like I think you get stuck with Kirk and Gino. Yeah, MT time, baby.
Even AR, if he came all the way back, I wouldn't love it.
They want you to roll the sound.
We'll roll it. Oh, this is for both of us. Davis drafts another old.
I don't know. I just like them older. We got a couple more of these guys. We still got 3 more drafts for me to convince her to take 1 more of these old guys.
3 more. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to wrap up. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do 150 on stream. I have some people predicting it's like people are this like Labor Day weekend, long weekend. People are just gonna be like hammering in drafts, and it might close.
Thursday. Knock out this Thursday. We're on a Tuesday.
I don't know. I'd rather push 150 to Tuesday and then I don't know. I need to ask
How much
Tom
EV
what
are
the
you really
fill
going to
rates.
scrape on a few days?
Not much at all.
God, I wish I had picked 102 Michael Thomas. Oh, my Michael Thomas is in the 90s. Oh, God.
Jalen Warren.
Whoa, snaps.
109. Late Saturday stream? I'd be down. Oh, yeah, Monday night I have a home league draft, so we couldn't do emergency Monday night stream. We could.
I'm a little surprised that Brian Robinson hasn't gone yet. I actually thought he'd be gone by now. I mean, I wouldn't take him here on this team, realistically, unless we're just going to play 4RB. But I'm surprised, like, all these guys are going ahead of him right now. I guess I'm not too surprised. It's just funny to me. We might get D. Jones. Your favorite quarterback.
He is my favorite quarterback.
Vanilla Vic.
And there's a chance Gino comes back because I feel like a lot of people don't love Gino. I don't know. The Metcalf person, I mean, this person could just take Daniel Jones and then we're just taking Gino. Oof. Let's go.
Gotta love that.
I sprinted so fast to the podium to put that one in.
And with the 114 picked, we still like Daniel Jones. I guess that's how it starts.
Yep.
It wasn't even hope is on the clock.
For the 32nd time in Best Ball Mania. Oh, Bishop selects Daniel Jones. Gino, God.
Quarterback.
This person didn't even have a Seahawk. Frustrating.
That makes
sense. Right. I mean, we're doing our week 13 Daniel Jones. We have Russ and Carr. And we're just getting by with those 3.
It could work.
Juwan, Dulcich.
Juwan. Yeah, Juwan, Dulcich, Mims. Like you could double down, and just take Mims and Sutton.
3. I don't
And
know if I want to
play.
take 3 Broncos.
No, but you wouldn't take the tight end, right? You would just take like Mims, Sutton, and then make a bet against Judy. Like that Judy just
Yeah,
doesn't come
no,
back
that's
and play
smart.
well.
I love that stuff.
Even like just because I like a guy doesn't mean I don't make a story that he just isn't good. Like
No,
if
I
I
mean
go
it's smart to like. I mean it's why I have like 10 or I have like 8% Miles Sanders and 15% Chuba Hubbard. Obviously not on the same
so
team.
I know I already won by taking Thomas because you let me take him. But like look at the receivers that came after him. Like, did you feel better with like Juju, Kadarius, Boyd, Nico?
I
Like
love
all
that
of
the
those
Saints
guys?
have a super soft schedule. That's for sure.
You don't feel
Oh,
better
the
about those, right?
Mahomes Allen drafter gets Kirk as well. You
I
just
mean, it makes
gotta.
sense because
You
like,
gotta.
what if they don't do good?
Mhm.
You want Kirk to share bye weeks with your quarterback too.
Yeah, we'll watch the fill rate. I don't know. Like, I mean, you're right. Like, what type of EV would I get drafting this weekend? Probably none, but something I'm thinking
Zero.
about.
What you might get is negative. Some guys out there drafting 3 quarterbacks in
That's
the
true.
one spot.
We'll see. We'll see how how much it feels. I don't know. I would love to push it to next Tuesday, but we will see. All right, Russ's. We can push a pick. I think I'd feel better.
Going so
I
much
think
earlier.
I was about to say we just take Mims and then hope Russ comes back, but that is not going to be an option. It's a pretty gross spot here.
I think you can take Penny now that like we have
I
better
think so
news,
too. I think Penny's definitely on the roster,
right? We
right?
take
We didn't
Penny
miss
here,
anything, did we?
play for the ADP because basically he was going earlier. Now we're getting him at 120. Like that's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine with Penny here.
Now we're 4 RB and we're done here. And then we went 3,
I don't know.
4, 8, 3? Yeah, 3, 4, 8, 3.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. I wouldn't even hate taking a 7. I don't know. A 5th RB, we'll see.
Could have taken Higbee, I guess, and have him go get your Daniel Jones, but that would just feel kind of weird at like 127 Higbee.
This is kind of why I wish I had like 20 bullets left in BBM, but just so you can get in some of these weird rooms, like the one we're in. I mean, we're getting extra value when someone's taking all those QBs, and so.
Oh, we got a Twitcher. What up, Walt?
Yeah, what's up on Twitch? Yeah, we started streaming it over there too.
You know, this is between us, what, team 1200? 12, 1300? Gosh. Good thing I didn't stream all these. I would have been tired.
No, I know. Yeah, streaming. I can't believe Pete's done it. 150 stream teams. Like,
there's a lot of people who are putting down. I mean, like even Pat from the Pound, right? He's drafted every day, 2 to 3 teams a day with different contests and just giving.
Yeah, mad respect to Pat. He is grinding. Super impressive.
Joke. Yeah, seriously, no joke. It's a newborn.
No, that is nuts. It's like I know sometimes the text you be like, "Man, I had a rough day at work. Like, I just one straight, but we do it 2 days a week."
Yeah, I'm like I'm probably more of a baby than you are, though. I'm like, ugh. I was walking home and the lights turned red. I was supposed to go green. Now I'm not.
It's crazy how different lives we live too, because like you're talking about you walk home.
My walk home.
I live in Texas. Like we're just driving everywhere. It would take me like 2 miles to get to the closest gas station, and I don't even live out in like. All right.
Nothing much. Well, we're just drafting some Best Ball Mania fantasy football. Not sure if you follow, but if you have, like, you should check it out. It's good stuff.
Absolutely. Just take Russ here.
We take Russ.
Yeah, I'm down.
Man, you know what's a good value right now? People are taking Damian Harris at 138. Like that's pretty well too. So good. After what happened this last Sunday, I feel like much better about my Damian Harris. I was a little scared for a minute.
I was too. It did not. The vibes were not good. But we'll see.
GA hopped on his Twitch too. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Once me and David start streaming our 1v1s in Madden, that's where it'll go. Just the Twitch.
Yeah. I gotta. It's bad. I still have to do
bad. We played Madden once and he beat me so bad.
It wasn't that bad. My offense was a
Well,
little off.
it
So
wasn't. I threw like 3 picks though.
yeah, it's all right. Nathan Peterman had a job for a year. That makes sense. Well, Walt, if you play fantasy football, feel free to join us here. I write for Fantasy Six Pack, which is a website, fantasysixpack.net. I would say check it out. There's a lot of good writers there.
Absolutely.
We're mostly doing best ball here, but if you have redraft questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. I'm sure Hope would too. It's a pain in the butt, but it's fun.
No,
Actually,
it is fun.
drafted someone's team this today on my Fiverr, and he was like, "Whoa, that's so crazy smart." And I'm like, "Yeah, I've been doing this since February." I was like, "Yep."
This is like my 600th fantasy football team I've drafted this summer.
Yeah.
Jeff Wilson, 13th round. I think that's good. I mean, I think that's fine value now.
Yeah, people are more cemented on it, but like I literally got a pick 216 like Jeff Wilson.
Car sniped. Frustrating. My pick here. Do what?
I would say grab Pickett.
Pickett? Yeah, I just wish we had a Pittsburgh. I mean, we don't really have any other stacks we could even go for.
We have JSN on the butt end.
Do what?
We have JSN.
You just want to take Pickett and just be done at QB?
No.
We can do like a Hal.
Grab somebody.
Ah.
I was like, you go Javon, call it whatever.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: worst case, we just end up on like Hal or like some other rando at the end. Like we don't have to force Pickett, but I was like, if you need an excuse, like you have JSN, like they basically.
That's fair. I mean, we could do Allen Robinson late too. That's gross. Another old we would pick with Michael Thomas.
Walt, yeah, everybody's injured on the Dolphins right now, besides Raheem Mostert, actually. Devon H.A. hurt his shoulder. Jeff Wilson got injured, but he's still on the team, and he's practicing-ish.
We could have just taken Hyatt for the stack, actually.
Suppose. But I mean, Hyatt's like kind of juiced, though, too. Like, do you want Hyatt right now, like 30 to 40 picks later?
I mean, this is still later than where I picked him in with the start of Best Ball Mania, when I was taking him at like 135.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Chig? I like him as a player, that's for sure. But I'm kind of worried with like Treylon seems fine, and I don't know if he's gonna play week 1. But I thought we were gonna kind of get like 4 or so weeks without Chig playing. But now I'm not without Chig, without Treylon playing. So like Chig would have a better chance to earn a higher target share. But I don't know. He's not my favorite click. I have 4%.
I think he's fine, right? Like you got to think about like Chig like this. Chig is probably a better 3 anyways than he would have been as a 2, right? He's a tight end that kind of started late at the end of season 1, like his first season. So like him being a 3 doesn't like change me. We just have to make sure that they're passing more. And like, does Tannehill get 30 pass attempts? Sure. And if he does, then like Chig's like fine, right? I think people like kind of like blew it out of proportion.
But how much are they really going to pass that much though?
I mean, it's possible. Like it's dink and dunks, and it's not like Tannehill doesn't. I mean, to be fair, I do think that Tannehill probably will barely get 30. He'll probably average 28 on the season, but it's not like the worst, especially when it's that top heavy at talent.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with Chig.
I think it's Dulcich or Hal for me.
I would grab Hal.
Yeah, I would
too. I would grab Hal here.
How we can get Curtis Samuel on the next pick. I'm kind of in on Curtis Samuel.
I mean, I'd rather just grab Hal naked and just like run the tight ends that come back to us.
Fair. Or Hodgins. I don't know. I kind of like Curtis Samuel. I think he's gonna be running all the routes. I don't know.
The only reason I'm not forcing like that 7th, 8th receiver is one, because round 17, 18, we know there are gonna be receivers there. And we also went 6 early, right? Like
that's fair.
We were at 4.
Yeah, I mean, 5. We did, but I mean, we took an RB in the 1st and in the 4th. Like, we didn't just load up on receiver like 6 straight.
Sort of though. I mean,
then we took Doc. Like we took 100. 3. Yeah. We just have different definitions of we loaded up on receiver.
No, it's not like straight.
So, I mean, like we took 2 running backs in our first 4 picks. So, like that's why I'm
but
fine.
So my thing is, if you grab 2 receivers now, then what is your final 2 picks then?
No, the problem too is like we're not gonna love the tight ends as well.
We're not gonna love the tight ends later. We're not gonna love like the running backs. We're probably a 4 RB team. So that's why I'm thinking like worst case scenario, you end up like McCall Hardman, like Mac Hollins, and it feels better than Cade Otton, Zach.
I mean, and like people could not like Curtis Samuel as well, so
yeah,
it could be fun. Take Cole Turner the last round. I have not picked Diami Brown. I don't know. Like, I don't really have too big of an opinion on him. Like, I guess if he's been looking good in camp, like if you're doing I would do him on like definitely an 8 or 9 wide receiver build. Something kind of like what we're doing. Samuel goes anyway, but I have not picked. And then Dalton, we got sniped on both.
There we go. So,
of course.
I mean, we just double down.
Conklin.
I think we got like Conklin, Hunter Henry. I think we got Hunter Henry here because he's been someone that's really.
No, we would have the double 11 buy. I don't know if you care at all about that.
No, not that much. It's not eliminator, so I don't care.
I know. I still like if I'm punting that I would. I don't know. I just like it. It feels comfy. I like Hunter Henry though. He's a good pick.
I mean, to be fair, Pat called that like really well. He's like, you're no longer getting like around 18 Hunter Henrys or undrafted Hunter Henrys.
That's what I'm saying. I like some of the receivers you can just tack on.
Yeah, and that's what
I mean, that makes sense. We might should have just done Pickett and then taken A-Rob, but
I also don't really like. I know Marmons was talking about like how to like
draft 4.
What's the role for a wide receiver 4?
That's my thing. I just like it just almost feels like a correlation play just to have correlation.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, not the worst. Yeah, we could just take 4 tight ends.
Yeah, we could have just taken 4 tight ends. That would have been fine too.
I still think we could.
What is it? 4-7-4? That makes sense.
We'll see. We'll see what we like between the tight ends receivers.
I'm gonna say
there is one tight end I want to come back.
Taysom's been hurting. Like it's actually, I feel kind of sketched with my Taysom picks right now. As much as that was a fun pick in the middle of like June, July, I don't know how good it's going to be now. He feels like a guy that could have been picked 200 in the grand scheme, unless he goes off in like week 16 or something, right? Like he might not pay off like 170 ADP if Juwan Johnson's like just a studded guy. Derek Carr doesn't need to be spelled out. They don't need the trickery, right?
Makes sense. Yeah, Cole Turner is not a bad flyer, actually. I took him in Eliminator a couple times because everyone was just grabbing their guys, and you're just like, oh, I'll get a third tight end late, and there was like no one. I did take Cole Turner, and I don't think it's worse at all, especially if we did 4.
Yeah. Never hurts. I mean, what was it that I had last year that was like I had like CJ Uzomov one year, like, and he did 3 like 20-point games or something stupid, and he costed me like nothing. And I'm like, all right, cool, like this works. Tyler Conklin was a guy that was undrafted last year and like just put in work. So I mean,
Conklin is the guy I want right here, like bad.
Oh yeah, sure.
Or Knox, but prefer Conklin.
Well, Waltz, if you want to get a little bit better at fantasy football, you can follow streamers, man. Like people that could put good content out all the time, and we're drafting 18 rounds or 20 rounds if you're playing other stuff. So we know some of the deeper guys. You know, you're not getting 12 rounds out of us. You're getting 18 to 20. So.
Yeah, and real money on the line.
Conklin. Oh yeah, a lot of money on the line. It was like, and I hate to be like that guy, but sometimes I see like other people and they're like, oh my God, I'm so screwed. And it's like 25% and it's like $87. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean,
you know, I'm like, okay, buddy.
I mean, everyone's got to play to what your means are though. Don't overextend.
I get that, but you know, it's just like a little.
No, I get it. Like, you know, 25% of, you know, 87 is not. It's like 2 drafts, but
yeah, and I'm just like, that's fine. Like, you're not screwed. You're like, yeah, your teams aren't looking pretty, but you can turn it around because you can always draft more, and then like, dude, it's not that bad. You're not like $3,000 deep in like a random running back that's 29 to 30 years old.
It's Alberto draftable on DK.
I think. I
mean, I wouldn't, but. You can be similar, like if you draft Noah Gray. I mean, I guess you could draft Alberto.
So here's the thing I like.
Isaiah Likely, like, is kind of a similar pick.
So I know. So people are gonna give me crap with this, but I like this because think about like the Eagles and their running back, their tight end history, right? Zach Ertz used to play out there. Then they had like Trey Burton behind him. Then Zach Ertz left, and Trey Burton became the guy, and then they had Goddard behind Trey Burton. Then Goddard became the guy. Like, no, I don't think like Alberto's gonna beat him. But if I think there's a team that knows knows tight ends and knows how to groom them, why couldn't it be them? Alberto has the physicality.
Yeah.
He maybe needs a year or two, but he might be relevant. And here's the thing: Goddard has missed how many games in the last few years? 3 to 4 or 5 games per season. So, it's the worst pick at like 20 rounds. No, I don't think so by any means. Like,
I think it's
especially
fair.
if he just went off and they traded to get him. So I'm not too worried about it. Because basically what they said was we don't want Albert O to like go around the league and probably get picked up. Just give it to us. We'll give you something for him. So
That
like
makes
I
sense.
think that's fine. And I think if you paint that picture of like this team that knows how to groom tight ends, why not?
I'm with you. Looking more at our team, I think we do need to go 8 receivers.
Yeah, I think so
I'd
too.
like to take the Michael Wilson pick. I don't know, man. I don't want to bet on the Cardinals, but he is going to seemingly be running all the routes, and then we have 3 Giants options that could make it to our next pick. Wandale did not get put on pup. I know, like he's not the starter there, but
They'll definitely take Slayton first, and then we'll just like play for the ADP.
I kind of want to take Michael Wilson and then hope one of the 3 Giants receivers then comes back to us.
I definitely don't want Paris Campbell. I don't know. I just feel off about him. But yeah, I mean, if you want to grab Milson
I
here,
mean, he
I guess
was
you
running
could.
like every slot snap. Well, not everyone because Hyatt mixed in. Let's go Wilson. Let's go
Play for
Wilson
whoever.
and then whoever comes back of these or Ty Chandler.
And like the top it off, so I know GA is asking last thing about like Goddard. The last thing like I want to touch on for like Albert O, it's just that he was fantasy relevant when Greg Dulcich was out, right? Like was he didn't look great to me on tape overall because he bobbles a lot and kind of runs like kind of junk routes, but he was relevant. Like he still kind of got there. He still made these like big plays and like round 18 tight end, in this case round 20 for like DK, like it's not the worst.
Yeah.
So I just think there's a actual path for him, and then you can paint that storyline that makes a lot of sense.
Makes sense.
So, especially for a team that is 2 receiver heavy, like they don't have a 3rd receiver over on the Eagles, so they could be playing a ton of like tight end sets. So
yeah, I've seen a lot of people like I know Davis Maddox huge on Michael Wilson. People like grabbing him in every draft, and I realize he's a starting receiver, and they like. What's the point of betting on the Cardinals to me? Because I am one of those people, and I may be wrong, but I don't think Kyler is going to play very much. And I may be wrong. Come week 5, he's in there, but I don't know. There's a lot of the stuff seems kind of iffy on that. But if he does play, I do think Mike Wilson would be a really good pick at that point in the 17th round.
I mean, he could be.
He's running every route with Kyler, like.
He could be relevant even with a bad quarterback play. Like, just it's football. Things happen. I've seen enough Nelson Aguilar touchdowns to like not give anybody else like crap that they can't be relevant.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see though. I'm not stoked about it. I'm
not either. He's a fun player though. I mean, he's a big receiver, like, and again, a starting receiver in the 17th round. Regardless of what you think, like it's. I don't know.
He's the only big body player on that team, though. Like everybody else is like 5'4" running out there.
they're my height.
They're all Deuce Vaughaning it out there and stuff, like trying to high point the ball.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I've got 1%. It's not. I don't understand the like. I mean, you're you know, him being your highest on player though, it is an 18th round pick. So if it hits or if it doesn't hit, it's not gonna like crush you or anything. So I get that. I don't know. I'm worried. I think the Cardinals are gonna be so bad.
Cardinals are gonna be pretty bad.
And I think there is like I don't know what the percent it is, but I think there's a percent that Kyler doesn't play a game. We'll see.
Yeah, I think he gets that showcase game. I know we talked about it before. Like I saw, like I think he's.
See, I think I've been thinking more about that. I don't think they need to.
I think if you want to get maximum value, you showcase game.
I just all right, Wandale. Like my first share of Wandale BBM. Hopeful to play in week 1, not on pup. Bet against Paris Campbell. I mean, he was really fun last year. I played him, Wandale. I played him several times on DK. And
I was gonna say Paris Campbell was not fun last year.
No, Wandale was.
That man was like the slottiest person I've ever seen in my life. He was catching like 3-yard receptions and like falling down. It was like absolutely terrible.
All right, I think it's a pretty fun team. Yeah, they brought in Marquise Brown since he played with Kyler too. Yeah. And they might trade him. I mean, they could. Like, I don't think anything is off the table with the Cardinals this year at this point. It feels like they're blatantly tanking.
It might be a little bit late. We could have grabbed Josh Palmer, actually.
Oh, Josh Palmer. Yeah, Josh Palmer's a great pick. I only got 2% of him,
We're gonna
but
grab Josh Palmer. He's going against Russ on our Sutton bet. Like I think that would actually make sense too.
yeah. I mean, we did stack up Daniel Jones. Yeah, instead of Michael Wilson. That's fair. We got
mean,
Devonta Smith, Michael Wilson in week 17. I'm sure that's what you need.
yeah. I mean, I thought I was like crap. I forgot Palmer is like apparently like a starter right now, so that's like maybe we could.
He is, but I mean,
For how
KJ's
long? Who knows?
probably gonna be. I don't know.
I mean, he's probably going to be because he's more polished than Quentin right now, and if Mike Williams get hurt, right? Like it wouldn't surprise me if he's like just relevant all season long.
All right, let's recap
More
this.
relevant.
I think this build makes a ton of sense. 3 QB build. DJ, Russ, Sam Howell. Weren't able to stack up Sam Howell, but that's fine. He rushes. Like that's not that big of a deal. It's our 3rd QB. But yeah, DJ and Wandell stacked up. Russ with Sutton. Just kind of doing skinny stacks here. Nothing really great. We got sniped a couple times on that. 4 RBs with Bijan, Mixon, Dobbins, Penny. That feels pretty good.
No shared bye weeks either, so it works out.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer that too if I'm doing 4 RB. But I am a bye week bro. Devonta, T, Kirk, Jason, Sutton, MT, Michael Wilson, and Wandell. I think MT and Sutton do really fit this build good because we know or we think Jason's probably going to miss a couple weeks. Michael Thomas is probably going to be better early in the season than late. And then same Wandell coming back slow. Michael Wilson, a rookie.
It's such a dick.
Like that.
Yeah.
And then we got our 3 tight ends in Juwan, Hunter Henry, Conklin. Feels really strong. 3 starters.
This team probably has a very strong wide receiver 3 floor. I am worried maybe on the upside, but like floor wise, like you're probably filling your 3 and your flex a lot with wide receiver, and then your RBs are very top heavy, so that's good.
Yeah, I think this team makes sense structurally and like the buckets we spent in and all that. Not as much week 17 correlation as I usually like to have on my teams, but I don't know. I think there were a lot of sniping going on in some weird teams, but I think this makes sense.
Yeah, we didn't get Chris Godwin. We didn't get our.
I'm kind of fine with
our. Well, we couldn't get Herbert on the return. We didn't get any like the Charger.
Carr we wanted.
Couldn't get Carr either. It is what it is.
I think it's a solid team.
Let's sauce team 1 really fast because I think that's just funny. Like that was just so bad. If you're the 101 and you're doing this, like stop. Like just don't, please. Just donate $25 to the charity. Like it makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean that's mean. I do apologize if you're watching, but yeah,
no,
the double elite. Okay, fine. You sauce him. I'll let you sauce him. I'm not mean enough.
All right. So like Patrick Mahomes, like Josh Allen, like that's fine. Like let's say you make an argument, but Kirk doesn't do anything for this team like at all. In the event that Kirk Cousins does work for this team, you lost Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, your team is done. Like that's the only scenario I could think of. And then JT, fine. That's a good fine pick. I'm okay with it. If you're just betting him come back. James Cook, fine. Gibson, fine. Mitchell, fine. Deuce Vaughn, fine. But like, none of these like seem good to me. I don't know.
No,
I don't know. You're like, especially if you can run without Jonathan Taylor for 4 weeks.
You're going without Jonathan Taylor. You got the second back in Washington.
Yeah, I think you're playing
and then Deuce Vaughn's the third back in Dallas.
This team's gonna lose. Like I guarantee this team finishes bottom. Like I guarantee finishes.
I'm so sorry if you're watching Team 1.
But like literally look at it. Like how does this team like accumulate points in the RB position the first 4 weeks, and then
we don't know who their 18th round pick though. It could have salvaged it.
Yeah. Okay. So then the receivers are fine though. I actually didn't mind the receivers. You got Justin Jefferson, Deontay, Gabe, Sky Moore, like Osborne Shark. Actually, the receivers like totally fine with me.
That's my team. Oh no.
Well, I'm sorry, buddy.
I think he's amazing.
And then tight end's fine. Kincaid, I think solid tight end. King Irv, Hayden Hurst, good stacks on this one for the most part. Sorry, good correlation. But I just think everything else is just excessive, just super excessive. I've done the numbers for this. It's a little tough for quarterbacks. But other than that, like it works. Like you just have to.
Yeah, he's kidding. I thought he was kidding.
Just don't overspend. Like, what are we doing? Because I want to go back to this team in like week 3, and I want you to look at how many points these RBs score, and I guarantee you it's going to be under like 18, like per week. It's going to be like 14 points.
It's not. It's not my favorite team. I'll say.
Yeah. Other than that, we're good. We're done. You gonna yell at people
Yep.
later?
No, maybe we are done. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll figure out if Thursday we're gonna do my 150 or not. I don't know. I want to look into some of the fill rate stuff and see if there's a chance it makes it to Tuesday.
Some of you guys are cold-blooded. Best Mahomes Allen Cousins team I've ever seen.
You know, it was a literal 0 RB team.
Literal 0 RB. If you like this, obviously like, subscribe, hang out with us on another episode. Like that's what we're here for. We're here to do this every Tuesday, Thursday. We'll be doing this regular season. Hope's gonna teach me how to win a daily.
Yeah, we're playing battle royales for sure. We're gonna draft some battle royales together. We may do some DFS. We'll see. We're pretty loyal to the Underdog, but we might dabble in that as well. And also I want to talk some college. I know there's some other college football fans in here. We're gonna kind of do some highlights from what I watch over the weekend in college. Some guys who might be prospects, kind of get an early look on them. I think that's really helpful. I grew up in Alabama. I'm a huge college football fan, so I really think too that it kind of helps me in big board. Like I was super in on Tank, had tons of Tank and big board from watching
Pickens,
him. So
you were pretty early on Pickens too.
I follow a lot of college. We've got a big matchup in week 2 between my Crimson Tide and the Texas Longhorns there. I'm kind of nervous about that one, actually, though. Not going to lie. I think they're better. I think we're going to lose that. And I'm not going, but my family will be there, as always. So, yeah, check back in with us. Like, subscribe. Really appreciate everyone for hanging out. We will be back Thursday with definitely a BBM draft, whether it's 150 or not. We'll see. But it potentially will be.
And the road will be closed. So.
Yeah, the road to 150. Stop sign at the end.
Stop sign. We're gonna